The Jordanian government and the United Nations Refugee Agency have just officially announced the opening of the first refugee camp for Syrians here in el-Zaatri village in the province of al-Mafraq in northern Jordan. What you can see behind me is just over 2,000 tents that can accommodate up to 10,000 refugees. At a later stage, this 8-kilometer square camp can be expanded to accommodate and host up to 113,000 Syrian refugees. Now, the reason there has been such a long delay in opening an official tented camp for Syrians is because for the longest time ever, the Syrians who were crossing into Jordan were staying with family and relatives in the northern communities close to the border with Syria. But it got to a point where large numbers of refugees were crossing in that the local communities can no longer absorb them. So it was very necessary for the government to open this camp. Now, the UN Refugee Agency acknowledges that this camp is nowhere near perfect, that it lacks services, and that still a lot needs to be done. I'm just going to show you what it's like inside one of these tents. All of these tents are the same here. As you can see, it's not a very large space. It's also a bit rickety, and it's the middle of the summer, and the wind is really moving this tent. So it's not going to be easy at all for the refugees to live here in the summer, let alone in the winter. What we do understand from the government as well is that this is not a reason to celebrate. Opening this refugee camp, the first one that has been opened in a year and a half, after the number of refugees has exceeded 150,000 in Jordan, is not something to celebrate. The Jordanian government says it is looking forward to a political solution in Syria so that these Syrians stay here will be temporary and eventually they can just return back home to Syria.